Well, I want to welcome you to this IEP Tips to Equip video series on the Independent Educational Evaluation, or the IEE. As a mediator for special education disputes, I see the common pitfalls that lead to special education litigation. Oftentimes, minor legal missteps lead to significant violations later on. So it's imperative to start the IEP process in compliance with all of its rules and regulations. And that's why I'm presenting this IEP Tips to Equip series, so parents, advocates, and school districts can correct the common mistakes they make in order to create a successful IEP for every child. In part one of this series, we're going to discuss the definition of an IEE and how to begin the process. So let's get started. What is an IEE? Well, an IEE is an evaluation conducted by a qualified examiner who is not employed by the public agency or the school district. They're not working for the school district. So that could be a private provider. It could be a speech therapist. It could be an occupational therapist, a psychologist, a neuropsychologist, somebody who's not employed by the school district. Now, why might a parent or even a school district want an independent evaluator? Well, the school district or the parent may want to gain additional information about a child's learning style, particularly in cases where the child exhibits a complex disability. Also, the parent may want a second opinion. For example, if the district evaluation found the child ineligible for services, the parent may want an outside expert to review the child's profile and determine whether that person agrees or disagrees with the conclusions of the district evaluator. Now, the availability of a public-funded IEE is an important procedural safeguard of the IDEA, or the Individuals with Disabilities in Education Act, which is the special education law. And what it does is it allows the parents the opportunity to collect additional information from an independent source for consideration by the IEP team. Now, there's two kinds of IEEs. There's the privately funded IEE, which is paid for by the parent, or the publicly funded IEE, which is paid for by the school district. Now, the private IEE, paid for by the parent, a parent can obtain that IEE, pay for it themselves at any time, and present it to the IEP team for consideration. So let's focus on the publicly funded IEE and turn to quick tip number one. The parent must disagree with the completed evaluation. Now, the way the process works is the parent writes a letter to the school district disagreeing with its evaluation and requesting an IEE at public expense. But if the district hasn't completed its evaluation or has yet to conduct one, the parents aren't entitled to request an IEE at public expense because there is no evaluation to disagree with. Now, the caveat to that is the district has completed its evaluation, but maybe didn't assess in all areas of need. For example, an occupational therapy assessment for a child with autism who has sensory needs. And maybe the district OT evaluation looked at fine motor skills, looked at gross motor skills, but didn't consider sensory skills. Well, the parent can disagree with that OT evaluation because it was completed, even if it didn't cover a certain area of need. So the process for the IEE at district expense is for the parents to write a letter. And in that letter, they disagree with the district evaluation and request an IEE at public expense. Now, they don't have to state the reasons that they disagree with that district evaluation. They only have to state that they disagree with it. Now, the district may ask them to give reasons for their disagreement, but under the law, the parents don't have to state that reason. And for school districts, you have the right to conduct an evaluation and you have the right to complete an evaluation before the parent can request an IEE at public expense. Now, in the next couple of weeks, we'll be releasing quick tip number 2 on IEEs. And that's going to describe the 2 legal options a district has in response to a parent's request for an IEE. So sign up for our newsletter at iepsolution.com. We'll keep you up to date with part 2 of this IEP Tips to Equip webinar series, as well as our upcoming live webinars and boot camps, where we will delve into important special education topics in much greater detail. Thank you for watching this IEP Tips to